Here we go. Sige, huwag ka sugaw.
Like do any research on the cleanliness and the pollution in this river. You gag. Oh, sorry. All right. Anyway, let's talk about real things. Okay. Yuck. All right. Over here on your left-hand side, you are seeing into Brooklyn. Now, Brooklyn is one of 5 beautiful boroughs that you can see here in New York City. So you've seen 2 already. You've seen Manhattan. You've seen Brooklyn. And if you look to the very front of the boat, you're going to see that huge bridge over there. That is called the Verrazano Bridge. Now, the Verrazano Bridge connects Brooklyn into Staten Island. So, if you can see the end of that bridge, you can also see Staten Island, which makes your 3rd borough. Now, all you got to do is go to the Bronx and Queens, and you have seen all 5 boroughs, making you 1 step ahead of the game. It's true. It is true. It's like science. Once you've seen all 5 boroughs, you are just naturally better at things. I can't tell you how it happens. But now over here on your right-hand side, you just heard me talking about it. This is Ellis Island. Ellis Island, the first of its kind. It was an immigration processing facility. So immigrants from all over the world would come to this very island, get documented, and then would start their new life.
Wow.
Now, today, 33% of all native New Yorkers can test their ancestry back to Ellis Island. 33% of the most populated city in the United States, mind you. The second most populated is San Francisco, and the 3rd most populated is our very own Jersey City, New Jersey. Nowadays, you guys, if you come over here, this is where they have the beautiful museum. It has documents of every single person that came through here. You can see where they lived, where the children would go, where the adults would go to fill out documents, and how quick it was. Now, people were only here for about 3 to 5 days. That's how quick they were. You did have some cases where if they were from a new country and they had to start a new document, it could last up to 3 months, but the normal was about 3 to 5 days to be documented and then sent over. Now you can't talk about Ellis Island without talking about the Statue of Liberty. So that is coming up right now, everybody. It's coming up on your right-hand side. But don't worry, it doesn't matter which side you're on, because we are going to do a big circle once we're there. So left and right side are going to get great views, alright? So I will talk to you guys just a little bit closer. See you soon. Is it raining? Yeah, it is. Oh, wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, message from the captain. Please do not stand over the above benches or on chairs. Keep your both feet firmly on the ground.
มีเวลามีเสียเวลา Come on. Let's go this. Amazing, man.
Torch raised high. That torch represents a light to freedom. It represents a beacon of hope. And in her left hand, she has a say, give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shores. Send these, the homeless, the tempest-tossed, to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. This is a poem that really helps shape the identity of this country as a welcoming symbol for anybody who wants to come and start their new life on this beautiful piece of land. Now, a lot of you know she came over from France, but what you may not know is that what you may not know is that she came over in 800 individual pieces. Now, all of these pieces, they were all about only 2 pennies thick. Now, that makes her very, very lightweight, very easy to transfer over. Now, over here, this, like I said, this was not from France, this bottom piece, that was all American. We actually paid for that through a bunch of donations. Now, these donations were coming from all of the American people, but they needed a little bit of incentive. So Johann Pulitzer, the man who created the Pulitzer Prize, he said that if anybody donates even 1 penny, they will get their name in the New York Times newspaper. Now, this was a really, really big deal because hundreds of thousands of people were reading the New York Times. So it was just really, it was a great deal. So they were able to raise about $100,000. And when they raised all of that, now $100,000 today is a lot of money, but 150 years ago, that was millions of dollars. So, you know, it just goes to show that we can all just love together. There's nothing we can't do. And you know what? It makes me feel so patriotic. I think we should all sing her favorite song. I mean, come on, we all know her favorite song, right? Oh, guys, come on. It's the same one you hear in Times Square every single time you're there. You could say it's a real New York song. No, not Alicia Keys. Frank Sinatra. All right. Ready? Don't worry, I'll start. But you should all join in. Okay, ready? I'll make a brand new start of it. New York. These vagabond shoes are longing to stray right through the very heart of it. New York. I wanna wake up in a city that does its and find I'm king on the hill and top of the heat. They are melting away right through the very heart of it in old New York. If I can make it there, I'll make it
A bit. Yeah.
anywhere. It's up to you, New York, New York. Wow, you guys sounded amazing. That was so good. All right, everybody, I will be right back. I'm going to turn on a little bit more of a New York theme style music.
update it. Much upgrading what I'm doing.